Crisp, cool evening at Coors Field. Diamondbacks are at Coors Field for the first time this year to face the Rockies. And German Marquez made his first start since returning from AAA his last time out, and he was better. At least shaved a few runs off that ERA. It's down to 7.43 for him now, and something to build off of for sure. He'll face Madison Bumgarner today. Starling Marte leads things off. He's in right field for the D-backs today. And Marquez into his motion. First pitch is down and in. Ball one. Rockies last place in the NL West, 27-38. That's still worst record in the National League at this juncture. On the injury list right now, Nick Ahmed is out for the D-backs. So Rockies have not had a chance to see him this year. First went over to Arizona. Ahmed was on the injured list. Then he came back, but now has suffered a dislocated shoulder, so he once again is going to be out for few weeks now. 1-1 pitch coming to Marte is taken high. Hitters count now. 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Marquez misses. Clear skies here at Coors Field tonight. Winds are very gusty, though. And 2-1 delivery is swung on and grounded towards second base. Chris Owings playing there today makes the play for out number one. Let's look at your starting lineup for the Arizona Diamondbacks. After the right fielder Marte batting second, at shortstop Domingo Leyba. Batting third in left field David Peralta. Batting cleanup the center fielder Ketel Marte. Batting fifth at third base Eduardo Escobar. And here's Domingo Leyba. 219 on the year, 1 home run, 4 runs batted in. First pitch is just a bit high and outside. Home plate umpire Larry Bullard, James Kingsley at first, Gary Simons at second, and Patrick Johnson is at third. Marquez, the windup and the 1-0 is taken inside, 2-0. It's going to miss outside. 3 balls, no strikes. David Peralta waiting on deck. He is still among the league leaders in batting average, hitting .338 this year. And the 3-0 is going to miss down and in, ball 4. He walked him. So first base runner of the game for the D-backs. That'll bring up David Peralta. You can see much different tale of two seasons for him. Against righties, batting .390 with 7 homers and 30 runs batted in. Lefties only .184. So certainly the lefty-on-lefty matchups have not been kind to the D-backs left fielder. There's a throw over to first. That'll drive back Leyba. First pitch is taken for a strike by Peralta. Peralta, very good numbers against Marquez in his career, hitting over the .450 mark against him. 0-1 pitch is taken in there for a called strike. Quickly 0-2 now on Peralta. And that one's going to be just a bit outside and not get Peralta to chase. 96-mile-an-hour fastball away. Another throw over to first to drive back Leyba. Rockies have been seeing a lot of left-handed pitchers lately, so Elias Diaz has made quite a few starts. Of course, a very left-handed heavy rotation for the Dodgers, and the Rockies just saw that. There's a swing and a miss, and Peralta goes down on strikes. Nice 98-mile-an-hour fastball, that time from Marquez. And has not retired Peralta a whole lot in his career, but does there. It's a big second out. It's going to leave it up to Ketel Marte. First pitch is swung on and grounded up the middle into center field, a base hit. Leba will stop at second base. Hampson fires it back in from center field. Couple runners aboard with 2 outs now for the Snakes. That'll bring up the third baseman, Eduardo Escobar. Marquez, in his first start since returning from AAA against the Giants, gave up 3 runs all in the first inning, then really settled back in to rattle off a few scoreless innings. There's a pitch inside, ball 1. One out to Escobar is just a bit outside, 2-0. Ben Kuchnik-Avich of Purple Row along with you. I want to let you know we are not affiliated, and our broadcast here on YouTube is not affiliated with Major League Baseball, MLB The Show 20, or the Colorado Rockies. Marquez comes set as 2-0, is swung on and missed. Looks like he's really got that fastball in a good location today, does Marquez. He's induced a few swings and misses on it so far. Leba at second base takes his lead. The 2-1 is going to miss outside. 3 balls and a strike. Cattell Marte on first after a single. Christian Walker is waiting on deck. As it's been a 17 pitch, will be at least an 18 pitch first inning for German Marquez. And his first start at Coors Field since returning from his stint in Albuquerque. There's a strike and the count goes full. Payoff pitch is swung on and grounded towards first base, and that will retire the side as Fuentes takes it himself. We're scoreless going to the bottom of the first. Story, Owings, Blackman due up for the Rockies. Madison Bumgarner making his 14th start of the year, 6-2, 3.27 ERA. Good start for him in a Diamondbacks uniform. 85 in a third inning, 72 strikeouts, only 22 walks, 113 is his whip. He's allowed 74 hits. And Rockies have seen him a couple times in Arizona this year. First time he will be making a start at Coors Field. Trevor Story, again, a bit inexplicable what we're seeing and how he's hitting on the road. 303 and at home 189. Is still hitting for power here at home. 256 overall, 15 homers, and 35 runs batted in. And a lefty on righty matchup. Story likes those. First pitch from Bumgarner is taken for a strike on the inside corner. D-backs are 31 and 34. That's a tie for third place in the NL West with the Giants. Rockies are unfortunately separating themselves a little bit in the 5th place position in the standings. 0-1 delivery is just a bit outside, ball 1. Padres continue to have a little bit of a lead over the Dodgers for first place in the division, National League West. 1-1 from Bumgarner is taken low. Hitters count now on Trevor Story. Good way to start this bottom of the first. Bumgarner into his windup, and the 2-1 is swung on and missed. Story swings through a fastball there. And 2-2 delivery. That one's low and the count goes full. Leadoff batter Story working the count. Chris Owings waiting on deck. Ryan McMahon getting a day off today. And David Dahl and Daniel Murphy also not in the lineup. We're starting to see them sit much more frequently, those two, against left-handed pitching. Story strikes out. That's out number 1. First out of the game is a strikeout for Madison Bumgarner. And Chris Owings will be the batter. Lineup is full of righties today for the Rockies. Charlie Blackman is the lefty in there. Swing and a miss by Owings. Ryan McMahon hits lefties better than he hits righties, reverse splits throughout his career. He's just getting a day off today. He's been a bit cool at the plate as of late. 0-1 is way inside. Ball 1. Chris Owings getting the start at second today. A bit of a super utility player for the Rockies this year. And there's a swing and a foul back to the screen. Right on top of that one was Owings. Into his motion, 1-2 from Bumgarner is a check swing and going too far, and that one is Owings. There are 2 away. First 2 outs of the game are strikeouts for Madison Bumgarner. And that'll leave it up to the lefty in the lineup today, Charlie Blackmon. He's a bit cold right now. 2 for his last 17 at the plate. That's a 118 average over his last 5 games. 280 overall, 14 homers, 33 driven in. So one of the first real extended cool stretches for Blackmon this year. First pitch from Bumgarner is going to miss outside. Blackmon got the day off the other day. Very good numbers against this lefty. Close to the 400 mark, Blackmon versus Bumgarner with a few home runs. There's a pitch outside, 2-0. Blackmon has not traditionally had rough numbers against same-handed pitching. 2-0 is swung on and grounded towards first base. Walker will feed to Bumgarner, and that'll retire the side. Rockies go down 1-2-3. Bumgarner picks up a couple strikeouts in the bottom of the first. We're scoreless going to the second with Walker, Vogt, and Vargas getting their first licks against Marquez. Here's Christian Walker, much better against lefties than righties this year. 286 versus southpaws, 211 versus right-handed pitching, and 231 overall. 7 home runs, 27 runs batted in for the D-backs first baseman. Jake Lamb, we're seeing him reduced to a bit of a backup corner infielder role nowadays. It was not long ago he was looking like one of the top third basemen in baseball, perhaps blossoming. There's a high fly ball towards left field. Going back on this one is Desmond. He's got it in range. He will make the catch for out number 1. That'll give us an opportunity to look at the rest of the Rockies defense. Left to right in the outfield, we have Desmond, Garrett Hampson, and Charlie Blackmon. Infield corners, the cousins, Nolan Arenado and Josh Fuentes. Up the middle, your double play combination, Trevor Story and Chris Owings. And the battery consists of catcher Elias Diaz and your starting pitcher today, German Marquez. Stephen Vogt, the batter. First pitch from Marquez. He's in there for a called strike. 97-mile-an-hour fastball from German Marquez. Stephen Vogt, D-backs primary catcher this year. It's a pitch outside, ball 1. Seen Carson Kelly get a start or 2. Kelly also capable of playing some corner infield defense. 1-1 pitch. He's in there for a called strike. Another 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Good spot for the fastball today we've seen so far from Marquez. About a couple base runners there in the top of the first inning, but was able to pitch around those. 1-2 to Vogt is going to miss down and in. Going off speed that time was Marquez. Shakes once, gets the sign he likes from Diaz. The 2-2 is swung on and missed. Got Vogt to chase a high fastball at 98 miles per hour up above the letters. Take a look at that one again. And not really coming close to that one was Stephen Vogt. That'll bring up Ildemaro Vargas. First pitch from Marquez is in there for a called strike. Vargas batting .230, 4 home runs, 15 runs batted in. He's had a couple good games against the Rockies this year at Chase Field. Not really doing it to the rest of the league, though. There's a pitch outside. Count levels up at 1. Marquez shakes once, gets the sign he likes into his motion. Windup in the 1-1 is swung on and fouled out of play. Certainly would be advantageous for Marquez to get a quick inning here. Threw around 20 pitches in that first. There's a pitch high. Another high fastball. Vogt chased one, but not Vargas. It would be very huge for this rotation to get Marquez going. There's a swing and a chop foul. Just getting a piece of that one was Vargas. John Gray has unfortunately struggled a bit since his demotion to AAA. Really need Marquez and Gray to lead the staff. Kyle Freeland has been good this year. Pitch outside. Count goes full with Madison Bumgarner waiting on deck. And the payoff pitch is swung on and grounded towards short. On the backhand is Story, throws to first, and that will retire the side. We go to the bottom of the second. Scoreless ball game. Arenado, Desmond, and Diaz due up for the Rockies. Nolan Arenado leads off the bottom of the second inning. 318 on the year, 19 home runs, 46 runs batted in, a .632 slugging percentage. That is the epitome of Nolan being Nolan. Also 2019 Gold Glove winner, as the scorebug would like us to remind you of. Gold Glove winner every year of his career. Nolan Arenado at third base. First pitch from Bumgarner here is taken for a strike. Arenado 16 for 65 with 7 strikeouts. That's only a .246 average in his career against Madison Bumgarner, so one lefty that has had Nolan's number a little bit. Not many can make that claim. It's a strike of the knees, and it's quickly 0-2 on Arenado. And that one's high, ball one. Swinging a ground ball, weakly hit towards third. Dropping it, not able to make the play is Escobar. And that'll be an infield single for Nolan Arenado. First hit of the ballgame for the Rockies. And it's of the leadoff variety here in the bottom of the second. Ian Desmond, the batter, .233, 10 home runs, 22 runs batted in. As Dinger encourages the crowd to get on its feet and support the Rockies as they try to get on the board first here in the bottom of the second. Most fans obey Dinger's call to get on their feet, not all of them. And Bumgarner from the set position for the first time today. His first pitch to Desmond is called a ball. 11 for 49 with 17 strikeouts, so not the best of numbers for Desmond in his career against Bumgarner. Usually hits lefties very well, though this year it started to be a struggle for Desi against lefties as well, only hitting about .240 against them. And that's a bit unusual. If Desmond struggles against righties, it's not that unusual, but we've seen it against southpaws this year, and that's not what we're used to seeing. I haven't seen that in any of the years that Desmond has played as a Rocky. He lines out to short there. Shortstop Domingo Leyba made the play. The rest of the D-backs defense, left to right in the outfield, David Peralta, Ketel Marte, and Starling Marte. Eduardo Escobar and Christian Walker in the infield corners. We mentioned Leyba at short, Vargas at second, and Stephen Vogt will be catching for Madison Bumgarner. Here's Elias Diaz now, hoping to keep things going, not make waste of the leadoff base runner Arenado. There's a ground ball hit up the middle and into center field, a base hit. Diaz really hitting lefties well this year. And a couple Rockies are aboard now with one out here in the bottom of the second. First hit that left the infield for the Rockies today. Now Josh Fuentes will try to bring home at least his cousin. First pitch from Bumgarner is swung on in sky towards right field. Going back on this one is Starling Marte. He will make the catch running onto the track. Arenado tags up. He will move up to third base, and there are two away. As far as outs go, that's one of your more productive ones. Garrett Hampson will be the batter. 196, 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Not a whole lot of playing time for Hampson. On base percentage is close to .330, 328 to be exact right now. 3 for 15 against Bumgarner in his career. Likes facing the D-backs, does Hampson. That's where he picked up his first major league hit, got his first major league start at Chase Field. Bumgarner comes set. His 0-1 is in the dirt. That one's going to skip away, but nice block by Vogt before any runners can advance. Bumgarner's 1-1 is swung on and popped up. Going back out is the first baseman Walker. He'll get there and make the catch. And that'll retire the side. Rockies get a couple base runners. No one crosses the dish, though. And we go to the third inning. Scoreless ball game. 9-1 two-hitters due up for the D-backs. Madison Bumgarner, 1 home run on the year for the very good hitting pitcher. Leads off against German Marquez here in the top of the third. First pitch is outside, ball one. 1-0 is swung on and missed. I want to get you up to speed on the latest in terms of the negotiations between the MLB Players Association and Major League Baseball and their plans to try and resume an actual non-simulated season. Jesse Rogers of ESPN a few days ago now had an article that detailed the latest on the talks. That pitch was high. It's a hitter's count now on Bumgarner. That was a 99-mile-an-hour fastball from Marquez, the highest velocity he's reached today. There's a strike, and it's an even count up at 2 now. Swung on and fly toward shallow right. Blackman right there. He'll make the catch for out number 1. So, according to a statement from Union Executive Director Tony Clark last Thursday, Major League Baseball players will not take another pay cut and have resoundingly rejected the league's plan to begin the season. The statement came after a 2-hour conference call of the association's executive board and several other Major League Baseball Players Association player leaders, and one day after the league rejected, there's a bunt that's going to be fair, and Arenado makes the play for out number 2. And that was one day after the league rejected a proposal from the players to play 114 games with full prorated salaries. The league wants a drastically reduced schedule in order for owners to be able to pay players on a per-game basis. The thinking is that, and I think this is relatively the same from both sides, is they don't really want to play into November, but probably more from the owner's side of things, though there is the concern about the coronavirus having a second wave in the fall. But the way negotiations are going right now, a 50-game schedule might start to look like a better idea rather than playing no baseball at all. So it may even come down to the fact that there's not going to be any logistics for having a season that's much more than 50 games if these talks continue to stretch on. It is odd, though, that the owners rejected the more games because the initial argument from the owners was that they were losing salary because of fewer games being played, always losing that revenue. One-two pitch is down and in. And players believe that the late March agreement, and in case you have missed any times we've talked about this before, they believe, as Story is not able to make the play, the players believe that agreement between the sides spelled out their pay for the season. That'll be an error on Story, by the way, and on a prorated basis. But language in the deal also said the sides would discuss the economic feasibility of playing games without fans in the stands amid the coronavirus pandemic. And the argument, evidently, is that things should change a little bit from that agreement from the owner's perspective, since it now appears to be games without fans in the stands. David Peralta takes first pitch strike. The league's proposal since that agreement calling for a sliding scale of further pay cuts under an 82-game season was flatly rejected by the players. So now, as far as we know, talks are at a standstill.
1-1.
So 1-1 count on David Peralta. There's a swing and a line drive foul and out of play. And from the statement from Tony Clark, players proposed more games, 2 years of expanded playoffs, salary deferrals in the event of a 2020 playoff cancellation, and the exploration of additional jewel events. There's a ground ball into center field to base hit, a couple D-backs aboard now with 2 outs. And broadcast enhancements aimed at creatively bringing our players to the fans while simultaneously increasing the value of our product. And when they talk about those broadcast enhancements, one of which is having the players mic'd up during games. The Cubs with Marquee Sports Network did that a little bit in spring training with the Cubs. ESPN has done that as well. It was pretty cool to see. We also saw it in the All-Star game. Saw Charlie Blackman mic'd up for a bit, talking about how he's not superstitious, but a little stitious. That was a fun moment of the All-Star game a couple years ago. But Clark said rather than engage, the league replied it will shorten the season unless players agree to further salary reductions. And the overwhelming consensus of the board, Clark says, is that players are ready to report, ready to get back on the field, and they are willing to do so under unprecedented conditions that could affect the health and safety of not just themselves, but their families as well. And he says the league's demands for additional concessions was resoundingly rejected. There's a foul out of play. You know, the clock is ticking to start the season, and right now it is looking very unlikely that the season will be able to get underway by July 4, and that is what initially was the hope for both sides. This is what part of the executive board for the MLBPA, Andrew Miller, a reliever for the Cardinals, former Tiger, Yankee, Oriole, Red Sox, among others. There's a line drive towards the gap in right center field. Going over on this one is Blackman. He's going to leap, and he's not able to make the catch. Hampson over to pick it up. One run's going to score. They're going to try and get two home, are the D-backs, and they will. And it's a 2-0 lead for Arizona. And that'll bring up Eduardo Escobar. 2-run double for Ketel Marte, his second hit of the ball game. First pitch to Escobar is taken low, ball one. So Andrew Miller said since day one, players have been committed to getting back on the field as soon as possible. He said, we have attempted to get games to our fans only to be rebuked by MLB. They will only play more games if we are willing to make concessions on salary against a prior agreement. We have a responsibility as a group to protect our players and future generations of players. We resoundingly rejected MLB's attempt to divide the players. Those are the words of Andrew Miller. One player who was spoke under condition of anonymity said, play about 25% of the season for 25% pay. That's not worth the risk. And he says, I don't just mean COVID-19. One hamstring pull or any shoulder soreness and players will shut down. That strikeout will retire the side as Diaz throws down to complete it. Ketel Marte with a 2-run double makes it 2-0 Arizona. Rockies will try to answer back in the bottom of the third with their 9-1-2 hitters due up. German Marquez, 200 on the year, 3 runs batted in. He leads off here in the bottom of the third. A couple of really good offensive pitchers in today's ballgame, Madison Bumgarner and German Marquez. Marquez swings and fouls and out of play. Just to finish up some of those thoughts from Jesse Rogers of ESPN about where the potential season stands from here. Pick it up after this 0-1, that's inside. Owners say they simply don't have the cash flow to pay full prorated salaries, considering baseball halted spring training about 10 days before opening day, and that is why revenue has not materialized at all for 2020. A swing and a miss. Tom Ricketts, Cubs owner, said last week that the league itself does not make a lot of cash. He says, I think there is a perception that we hoard cash and we take money out and it's all sitting in a pile we've collected over the years. Well, it isn't, because no one anticipated a pandemic. Those are the words of Tom Ricketts. Players are not giving up hope for a season, but they say they need the league's help to make that happen, and the sides remain far apart at this point. Marquez swings and misses for out number 1. But Clark said, in this time of unprecedented suffering at home and abroad, players want nothing more than to get back to work and provide baseball fans with the game we all love, but we cannot do this alone. There's a strike to Trevor Story. Struck out his first time up. Jeff Passan of ESPN also took a look at the first 2 true premises, and those are, 1, MLB is willing to pay players a full prorated salary, a prorated share of their salaries over a 48-game season, and 2, the MLBPA is willing to play an 82-game season at a full prorated share of players' salaries. Those are two truths to contend with here. And it's a question of meeting somewhere in the middle. But MLB believes it has the right to mandate a fewer games played. So based on that, what is the leverage for the players? I don't know, if there is any. There's a line drive foul, because based on that, Major League Baseball could just, and I would argue this is practicing in bad faith, say, we don't need to negotiate. We have the right to mandate this. Story grounds one towards third base. Escobar up with the ball, throws to first, and not in time. Story just beats it out for a one-out single of the infield variety. So from Passan, if teams were to pay players a full prorated portion of their salaries, it would cost around $1.67 million per game or so. The Union and League both accept this figure. Makes a couple other points as well. I'll pick it up after this at bat from Chris Owings. First pitch is down and in, ball one. In a financial statement MLB provided to the Union, the league suggested every game played would generate $980,000 in local television revenue. Over the course of a 162-game season, that would total roughly $2.38 million. In a 48-game season, that amounts to $705.6 million in local TV revenue. For 82 games, it would be $1.2054 million or so. Well, the Union disputes MLB's accounting in a number of areas and rightly points out that the local TV revenue Story steals second base. Numbers do not include teams' valuable ownership stakes in their regional sports networks. It is generally believed that actual local TV revenue is in the $2.4 billion range. Pitch inside to Owings. So 2-2 count on him. Story has gotten himself up to second base after that stolen base now. 2-2 from Bumgarner is swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. And finally from Passan, the league in its financial statement said that for every game played in 2020, teams would combine to lose $640,000. Now, the Union has not validated this claim and has requested documentation from Major League Baseball to verify it. A simple equation, full pro rata salary minus local TV revenue leaves a loss of $694,800 per game. Considering teams could generate a combined $54,800 per game in other revenues to bridge the gap between the difference, both will be considered going forward. It's an 0-2 count on Blackman. Now, the per-game loss is an important number because it gives a sense of what the owners are willing to lose in game day revenue to put out a season. The league says that 40% of revenue comes from tickets, concessions, parking, and other game day purchases. It's a ground ball hit towards first base. That's going to get into right field. A base hit. Story will be waved around third, and the throw to the plate is not in time. Story slides in there safely. RBI single for Charlie Blackman. Rockies are on the board. They trail it 2-1. The throw looked like it beat him, but Story, what a slide there, just getting the hand in there in time. That'll bring up Nolan Arenado now. So again, we mentioned what the league says its revenue comes from. Other estimates have pegged the number as lower because the league plans to play games without fans in stadiums due to coronavirus concerns. A significant portion of its standard revenue vanishes. That is the basis for the owner's argument that they are better off playing fewer games. Still, 48 games per team schedule leaves a 720-game season. An MLB self-reported loss of $640,000 per game. 48-game seasons means the league would be willing to lose $460.8 million. You know, players want a longer season. More games played means more games paid, and a closer facsimile of a representative season. Arenado takes the pitch high, and it's a hitter's count on him. Pitch low. So regardless of the number of games played, Major League Baseball's plans include a regular season that would end around September 27. Again, that is predicated on fears of a potential second wave of the coronavirus, which could wipe out the playoffs, which is, of course, a significant cash cow. Major League Baseball said in its financial presentation it's worth nearly $800 million in media rights. Full count now on Arenado. 24 pitches this inning, very laborious inning for Madison Bumgarner. The Arizona Diamondbacks owner Ken Kendrick mentioned last week the league is unlikely to relent. If it did, it would look like it were treating player and employee health as a financial bargaining chip, a macabre optic for a sport already fighting a torrent of bad publicity, Passan writes. Payoff pitch to Arenado is swung on and pulled foul. So as Passan writes, distilled to its simplest form, Major League Baseball is in crisis because of a $326 million problem. As a pitch inside, Arenado walks. The players will say, so between the time it might take to settle on a deal and the September cutoff, an 82-game season might be the most players can hope for, seeing as they would settle for a full prorata at 1,230 total games. The projected losses from owners based on the $640,000 per game figure is crucial for this exercise, $787,200,000. Compared to the projected losses owners would face in the 48-game season, they're ready to rubber stamp playing an 82-game season would cost $326.4 million or more. So that's why Passan says a $326 million problem. Players will say that is $10.88 million per team, or the cost of a decent number 4 starter, and they're right. The owners will say that is another $326.4 million on top of the $3.5 billion we are already slated to lose. And though there is no publicly available information that's documenting that can substantiate those claims, the lack of gate revenues alone is a significant enough blow that some sympathetic to the union acknowledge the league's finances have been hampered. The negotiation endpoints have been established. So is the chasm between the two parties, and that's going to be the difficult part. One source involved in the discussions told Passan both sides have created through ignorance and deceit their own universes. The owners are convinced they're victims. The players are convinced they're aggrieved. It's 2 echo chambers. You can't talk money without trust. The pitch low, and it's a full count now on Ian Desmond. Bumgarner is not happy about that call. But as Passan writes, distrust is the hallmark of the current relationship between the union and the league, and it has metastasized into other areas. Payoff pitch to Desmond is swung on and missed to get him on strikes. Rockies get a run here in the bottom of the 3rd RBI single for Charlie Blackmon, but that is all. Very long inning, though, for Madison Bumgarner. We are through 3. It's 2-1 Arizona. Top of the 4th inning, Christian Walker leads things off. He flied out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. That was in the 2nd inning. German Marquez out for another inning of work. So another consideration for the hopeful resumption of the Major League Baseball season is that MLB is inclined to allow local governments to decide if fans are allowed at potential games. This was last Wednesday. Texas ruled its teams could now allow up to 50% of stadium capacity. Evan Grant of the Dallas Morning News says, call it home state advantage. So this is particularly impacting the state of Texas. It could be a huge advantage for teams like the Rangers and Astros if the schedule ever gets underway. Though perhaps they would also make the decision to not allow fans just to be on the safe side. This is certainly not any indication that there is definitely going to be fans in attendance at these stadiums. They're just allowed to. There's a drive towards deep right center field off the bat of Walker going back, and this one is Hampson. He's looking up, and that ball is gone. 8th home run of the year for Christian Walker. His home run will make it 3-1 Diamondbacks. Home run struggles continue this year for German Marquez, giving up well over 2 home runs per 9 innings. And that one had little doubt off the bat. Very loud sound off the bat of Walker. Stephen Vogt, the batter, first pitch is swung on and missed. But Major League Baseball is inclined to allow local and municipal governance to take the precedence when it comes to the fan attendance. Last week, Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced Texas-based teams could now allow attendance up to 50% of stadium capacity. Vote fouls are not a play. The previous policy from the state was 25%, so that's an expansion. It had been in effect for 2 weeks, but had not yet been tested by any league. All plans would be subject to change based on health and safety protocols. In Texas, the only state to have opened up pro sports with fans, so other states have indicated they would consider adjusting their stances as they meet various thresholds in containing the coronavirus outbreak. Now, the Rangers, issued a statement saying they look forward to the potential returning of play in 2020 Major League Baseball and the MLB Players Association, vote strikes out, are having ongoing discussions about the possibility at the present time, and the Rangers are in the process of operational planning for if and when they have a spring training and regular season games at Globe Life Field. The health and safety of players, staff, and fans are a top priority, and the Rangers said, "We will await further information and guidance from Major League Baseball and the appropriate health authorities in the coming days and weeks." It could create something of an unequal home field advantage for those teams that do allow fans if others cannot. It could also potentially create additional revenues that owners would be willing to share with players in the 50-50 revenue split the league proposed to the MLBPA when negotiations started. MLBPA, however, has indicated that it views revenue sharing as a de facto salary cap, considers that to be a dead issue. Globe Life Field is the Rangers' $1.2 billion stadium. It was set to open this year, and it could play host to about 20,000 fans. Stadium has full capacity of 40,300. There's a line drive towards the gap in right center field. That ball's going to get down and go to the wall. Hampson over to pick it up. That'll be an easy double. The Rangers have been hosting high school graduations for the last week as the first events open to attendees. Graduates and up to 4 family members were allowed in the park with social distancing rules in place. Waldemar Vargas with the double. Next pitch will be the 75th of the game for Marquez to Madison Bumgarner. That one's taken high. Of course, there are some other articles I would recommend you give a read to. Joel Sherman of the New York Post wrote an article saying stupidity is the only thing standing in the way of baseball's way of saving season. Fly ball to fairly deep right. Blackman will get there in front of the track to make the catch. Vargas tags and moves up to third with 2 outs. Lineup will turn over for Starling Marte. Put the ball on the ground twice. A couple of ground outs today for him. He's 0 for 2. One of the Martes, the leadoff batter Marte. Center fielder Ketel Marte. Bats a little bit further down. High fly ball toward center field out the bat of Starling Marte going back, and this one is Hampson will get there to make the catch, and that'll retire the side. Lots of pitches now. High pitch count for both starting pitchers. Not Starling Marte. This was Christian Walker hitting this home run. 3-1 Diamondbacks going to the bottom of the 4th. Manager Bud Black and pitching coach Steve Foster of the Rockies talking things over. It hasn't been the cleanest of outings for German Marquez today. Hasn't really been for Madison Bumgarner either, and hopefully Rockies can get something going against Mad Bum here in the bottom of the 4th. Elias Diaz based it his first time up. He leads things off. First pitch is way inside, ball 1. Now this is the latest from Joel Sherman of the New York Post. Key divide still remains in talks to restart season. MLB unwilling to give 100% prorated salaries. There's another line drive base hit into center off the bat of Diaz. And the Players Association has refused anything less. Can items like no draft pick compensation to help free agents serve as an arena to find middle ground, or do sides stay locked into positions? So that's the latest we're hearing from Joel Sherman of the New York Post. Josh Fuentes, the batter. Nice to see a leadoff single for Elias Diaz. There's a swing and a line drive towards left field on the run for this one. Diving is Peralta. He will not be able to make the catch. It'll drop, though, in foul territory. Fuentes flied out his first time up. He is 6 for 25 to start his season. Certainly looks to be holding his own at the plate, though. Even if the numbers don't look that pretty, 0-1 pitch is inside, ball 1. And swinging a line drive into left center field, a base hit. First 2 Rockies aboard here in the bottom of the 4th. We saw in that Dodgers series, and now so far in this series against the Diamondbacks, that the Rockies' bottom of the order has been getting it done. Here's Garrett Hampson now. First pitch is swung on and grounded foul. Hampson popped out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. See his triple slash on the year. 192, 323, 385. There's a swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2 now on Hampson. Hampson batting .214 with runners in scoring position. Very small sample, though. Couple home runs on the year. One of the inside the park variety. That one's going to miss just a little bit. Low, ball 1. One, two. Strike 3 called. He got him on strikes. And that is the first out of the bottom of the 4th. Herman Marquez will bat for himself. Struck out his first time up. 3 for 16 at the plate this season. Not what he gets paid to do. But of course we'll take whatever we can get from one of the better hitting pitchers in the ball game. There's a few runs batted in. First pitch from Bumgarner here. Marquez pops up a bunt and it goes foul to the screen. Marquez is batting .400 with runners in scoring position this year. Very small sample for him. You thought Hampson's sample was small. Very small for the pitcher Marquez. There is a bunt towards third base. Going to second for 1 is Escobar back to first, and that's going to be a double play. First 2 Rockies reach, and it was quite an opportunity for them. Marquez bunt grounds into a double play started by the third baseman Escobar. We're through 4. It's 3-1 Arizona. Domingo Leyba leads off the 5th inning. Walked and scored earlier in this one, otherwise 0 for 1. First pitch from Marquez out for a 5th inning of work. Pitch count up at 78. It's a strike on the outside corner. That one's way inside, nearly hit him. 5th innings, we'll check some scores around baseball. 4-1 Phillies lead the Cubs. 8th inning, it's 5-3 Cardinals leading the Mets. Pete Alonso has hit his 14th home run of the year, but his team is losing right now. 8th inning, Dodgers up over the Reds 2-1. Eugenio Suarez with home run number 20 on the year. 8th inning, Nationals and Braves are tied at 1. Adam Eaton already has 4 hits in that ball game. And Tyler Flowers has a solo home run, so that's your offense. 4-3 Padres lead the Brewers. They're in the 8th. It was Eric Hosmer who has 2 home runs today, 9 and 10 on the year. 2nd inning, Giants lead the Pirates 1-0. There's a line drive, base it into left field. Hunter Pence has hit his 16th home run of the year for San Francisco. David Peralta will be the batter. First pitch from Marquez is in there for a called strike. Eighth inning, Twins lead the Orioles 9-0 as that ball gets away, and that'll be a wild pitch that allows Leyba to advance. Eddie Rosario has homered for the Twins. 8th inning, Yankees lead the Royals 10-0. DJ LeMahieu has hit his 14th home run of the year for the New York Yankees. 9-0 Blue Jays lead the Mariners. They're in the 8th. It's a high fly ball towards shallow center. Hampson coming in. He'll make the catch. It's out number 1. 8th inning, Rays up over the Red Sox 4-3. I always felt that was one of the more underrated rivalries in baseball, and those teams get together. 7-1 Oakland Athletics lead the Detroit Tigers in the 8th. Matt Chapman has homered. He has 4 runs batted in today. Ketel Marte now the batter. 2-1 Cleveland leads Chicago White Sox 2-1 in the 5th inning. Yohan Moncada has hit home run number 12. 2-0 Rangers lead the Astros. Battle of the two Texas teams. Wonder if there's fans. That wouldn't be too much of a issue with home field advantage if it was a Rangers-Astros matchup. .90 pitches now for German Marquez. Not all that efficient today. There's a swing and a foul out of play. Likely will be his last inning, this 5th inning, and hopefully he can make it through it. Still will be shaving a little bit of additional runs off of that ERA, though. If it stays where it is, line drive towards left field. Desmond will get there to make the catch for out number 2. Maybe if Marquez gets a very quick final out here, he could come back out for a 6th. We'll see, though. Eduardo Escobar, the batter. He's 0 for 2 strikeout and a ground out today. 251, 4 home runs overall. And there's a swing and a line drive pulled foul. Velocity looks a little bit down for Marquez, to be honest. Now it's at 95. It was hitting frequently 97 to 99 earlier. Going at 95, not what we've been seeing from him today. There's a swing and a miss. Got up to 97 with that fastball. It's quickly 0-2 on Eduardo Escobar. And swing and a miss, he got him on strikes. Good fastball from Marquez. We've seen a few of those today. It's 3-1 Diamondbacks. Rockies need some offense going to the bottom of the 5th. Top of the order, Trevor Story leads things off here in the bottom of the 5th for the Rockies. 3-1 Diamondbacks. Story 1 for 2, single and a run scored today. 847 OPS for him on the year, 316 on base percentage. Not what we've been accustomed to seeing from Trevor Story. Still hitting for power. Looking for the first 2 categories in that triple slash line to improve. Bumgarner into his motion. His first pitch at the bottom of the 5th is taken for a strike, called at the knees. Story 10 for 43, 5 home runs in his career against Bumgarner. Certainly has hit him for power. And the 0-1 pitch is swung on and lined towards left field. That's hooking and foul to the seats. Quickly 0-2 now on Trevor Story. There's a swing and a ground ball into right field. A base hit, diving attempt there by Vargas, but to no avail. It'll be an infield single for Trevor Story. And the leadoff man is once again aboard for the Rockies. They'll try to bring him home this time. Here is Chris Owings. He's 0 for 2. He struck out twice today against Bumgarner. 250 with a 326 OBP on the year. Dinger once again encouraging the crowd to get on its feet and get excited here at Coors Field. Trying to encourage this game to get a little bit closer. The Rockies offense can get at least a run home here in the bottom of the 5th. Swinging a ground ball hit to first base. 3-6-3. Double play will be started by Walker. And not a good day at the plate for Chris Owings so far. A couple strikeouts and has grounded into a double play. And once again, the Rockies find their momentum has been stifled. National League runs scored leaders. Freddie Freeman leads the league right now. Chris Bryant is in second place. You see that scrolling across the bottom of your screen. I think we'll see Nolan Arenado's name right about now. He's tied for third with 44 runs scored on the year. Charlie Blackmon 1 for 2 with an RBI single. The lone RBI of the game for the Rockies has belonged to him. Trevor Story scored on it. First pitch is low ball 1 from Bumgarner. I mentioned those really good numbers for Blackmon in his career against Bumgarner. 19 for 48, close to the 400 mark. There's a check swing and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now on Charlie Blackmon. Swing and ground ball hit towards the shift. Vargas, the second baseman, makes the play, throws to first. That'll retire the side. We're through 5. 3-1 D-backs. We'll see if Marquez returns for the 6th. It will not be Herman Marquez. Jeff Hoffman will take over. 30th game of the year. 5.20 ERA in 53 2/3 innings. 39 strikeouts, 18 walks. Given up quite a few hits. Around the 280 mark for both righties and lefties. Christian Walker 1 for 2. Solo home run back in the 4th inning. And that made it 3-1 Diamondbacks. Slash on the year for Walker, you can see. It's looking at a little bit maybe like the Diamondbacks would like more from him, especially for a power-hitting first baseman. Certainly has looked good today. 2 for 6 with a couple home runs against Jeff Hoffman in his career. One of those this season. There's a strike quickly. 0-2 now on Walker. 3rd inning, Angels have opened up a 14-0 lead over the Miami Marlins. In interleague action, Tommy LaStella among the offenders. A home run, 5 runs batted in on the day. 1-2 pitch for Hoffman is swung on and lined foul and out of play. Hoffman into his motion windup, and the 1-2 pitch is swung on and fouled off. Kyle Newman of the Denver Post had an interesting article last week about a former Rocky who is now in the Korean baseball organization, as there's a swing and a miss. Walker strikes out against Hoffman. That's Roberto Ramos. Rockies have always viewed him when he was in their organization as a quad A hitter, a 4A hitter. That means, it's hard to say if this guy will stick in the big leagues, but, also, he was not really given an opportunity to do so. There have been some who have suggested that Ramos was just going to stick in that position. But again, never really got a look at him. Now, he has really been hitting well in the KBO, the Korean Baseball Organization, which is definitely not the same quality of pitching as the major leagues, and also not even as good as Japan's Nippon Professional Baseball. But Ramos, 25 years old, he signed with the LG Twins for $300,000 through 26 games. He has 10 home runs. Here's his triple slash: 363, 433, 747. His OPS is 1180. But, he had really good numbers in the minor leagues with the Rockies. In 2018, when he was in Class A Advanced Lancaster, he was an all-star. Also was an all-star with AAA Albuquerque last season at 309, 400 on base, 580 slugging, 30 home runs, 105 runs batted in. Not even a September call-up for him. It was a season where the Rockies were really looking like they were out of contention in September in 2019. Need I remind you? Not even a September call-up for him. Over the past 2 seasons, Ramos has hit 62 home runs. Also, though, he does have a high strikeout rate, and that's what the detriment is, 29% of the time. Hindsight 2020 is what Newman writes, and that is what we have to keep in mind. There's a line drive pulled foul. The catcher is Stephen Vogt. The Universal DH is coming to the National League this season if a season is played. I know some of our Purple Row friends have decided to stop being fans of baseball due to the Universal DH. I don't think it's quite that, personally, I don't think it's quite that dramatic of a situation, but oh well. But Ramos could have fit the bill as a Universal DH. Also expanded rosters, likely going up to around 30. And the active roster, an additional 20-man taxi squad. Ramos was a 16th round pick in 2014 out of junior college. But we'll continue to watch those clips from the Korean Baseball Organization to see how Ramos is getting along. Low end away ball 2 from Hoffman. One's high, 3-0 now. Madison Bumgarner waiting on deck. Ildemaro Vargas has worked the count to 3-0. That's in there for a called strike. As you prepare for the draft, recommend you check out purplerow.com for the latest draft coverage. Justin Wick has been doing a great job of keeping track of that, as has Renee Deckert.
You got a full count. 3-2.
Line drive pulled foul. And another foul. Vargas really making Hoffman work out there. He's at 21 pitches. At least he'll be at 22. Only one out here in this 6th inning. Swinging a ground ball hit into right field, a base hit. And a couple snakes aboard now, with only one out here in the top of the 6th as they try to extend their 3-1 lead. Hoffman shakes once, comes set, gets the sign he likes from Diaz, looks towards second base where a vote is, and Bumgarner lays down a bunt. It's a good one. Third baseman Arenado, though, throws to second for one, back to first, and double play. Was not so much of a good one with Arenado playing in. And he was able to quickly turn two. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 3-1 Diamondbacks. Arenado will lead off when we come back. Here is Nolan Arenado leading off the bottom of the 6th inning against Madison Bumgarner. 3-1 Diamondbacks. Rockies could certainly use some offense. Base hit in the 2nd inning for Arenado. Very good numbers for him on the year. 394 on base percentage, Arenado. It's Nolan being Nolan. First pitch here is taken in the dirt, ball 1. Arenado has very good numbers against lefties in his career. Don't need me to mention that twice, but Bumgarner is one of the southpaws who has handled him relatively well. And most of his time spent with the Giants as well. So Arenado, it's a perfect storm. Left-handed pitcher on the Giants, a team Arenado hits better than any other team. That is not the case for Bumgarner. Really handled him. Strike of the knees, 2-1 the count. Swinging a foul out of play. Fouled off again. Count evens at 2. Two-two pitch. Swung on and lined towards right field. That's going to drop fair into the corner. We'll see if Arenado tries for 2. He will think better of it and hold up at first base. A very long leadoff single for Nolan Arenado as the Rockies once again get their leadoff man on, and once again will try to bring him home. Has not been the case the last couple of innings. Here is Ian Desmond. First pitch is taken down and in. 0 for 2 strikeout and a lineout on the day for Desmond. 726 is OPS, hitting .230 with a .299 on base percentage nowadays. Bumgarner comes set. His 1-0 is on the inside part of the inside corner. Desmond turns, has some words for the home plate umpire. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
Ground ball to second base, 4-6, and not in time at first.
Count 0-2. Nope. Ball one.
Ground ball to short, second for one, back to first, and double play. And once again, the Rockies' leadoff single is wasted. We're through 6 innings, 3-1 Diamondbacks. The 7th inning, 3-1 Diamondbacks. Jeff Hoffman out for a second inning of work. Starling Marte leads off, takes first pitch strike. Marte 3 for 7, very small sample, but he's hit him well. Marte has against Hoffman. It's a straight, quickly 0-2 now. Swinging a high fly ball towards left field. Desmond's going back on this one over towards the corner, and that ball's off the very top of the wall. Marte cruises into second base with a double. That was inches from leaving the ballpark. 18th double of the year for Starling Marte. It hit the yellow, and that is not a home run if it comes back in play. But about as close as you can get. Domingo Leyba takes first pitch strike. Evan Drellich yesterday of The Athletic reported there's a new offer coming. Carl Ravitch of ESPN also was first with that. But MLBPA regarded the offer from yesterday from Major League Baseball to be worse than the league's last because it shifts greater emphasis on risk sharing. Fly ball to center. Hampson runs it down. In the postseason, players would receive 50% of pro rata if there is no postseason, 75% if there is. Joel Sherman of the New York Post says Major League Baseball is determined to play games this year. The way the sides are entrenched, Sherman says, I would suspect an agreement for more than 50 games at full. Proration is going to be difficult, Sherman writes. We will see what transpires. David Peralta, 353 on the year with runners in the scoring position. Marte is at third base right now. Rockies, in the last week, have released a slew of minor league players. And they all deserve to be mentioned. Because there was some, we've talked about Tim Melville, the one recognizable name. It's important that we talk about all of them. Among others, Vladimir Delone, Jordan Foley was the name I really recognized. Ground ball to short. Story throws to first. The infield was playing in, but the run will score. It's 4-1 Diamondbacks. Anilo Gomez, Noah Gotsis, Eric Heppel, Micah Castor, Brandon Lamright, Jeffrey Okondo, Kyle Oligues, Federiz Parra, Vicent Perez, Jordan Spicer, Owen Taylor, and Matt Whitehouse. And there are actually some additional names. I have to check on who those were. Just want to make sure. Tyler Plantier, Robert Metz, Jesus Suaje, Kevin Pimentel, Miguel Osua, Turner Brown, Trey Jacobs, and Anwede Duarte also released as well. So we certainly wish them the best. Rockies players who were released from the organization. There is a transaction freeze going on right now. It does not apply to minor league moves such as that. There's a high fly ball toward shallow center field off the bat of Ketel Marte. That will be caught by Garrett Hampson. That'll retire the side. 7th inning stretch time. Corey Shembry will sing for us. It's 4-1 Arizona on a beautiful night at Coors Field.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Josh Fuentes leads off the bottom of the 7th. Madison Bumgarner at 90 pitches is out for another inning of work. There is action, though, in the D-backs bullpen. First pitch to Fuentes is taken for a strike. Couple hits and 6 at-bats in his career against Bumgarner. Swinging a ground ball hit towards second base. Vargas makes the play for out number 1. So Kyle Newman of the Denver Post estimates, he says, about 34 players have been released over the past 2 months. And again, Tim Melville was the most notable of those because he actually got playing time in the major leagues for the Rockies last year, then was outrighted off the 40-man roster. Garrett Hampson will be the batter. And a lot of this, there's the likelihood that the Rockies are going to be losing 2 minor league affiliates in 2021. Hampson lays down a bunt. Coming in as a third baseman, Escobar, he's not able to make the play. I'm sure that'll be an infield single for Garrett Hampson. And it will be. Likely have a pinch hitter coming up now. It's going to be David Dahl. He's really been struggling, especially against lefties as of late. 239, 6 home runs, 22 runs batted in, on base percentage at 292. So this is a tough spot for him, but he'll be trying to get something going against Madison Bumgarner. Throw to first to drive back Hampson. That's Rookie League Grand Junction and Class A Advanced Lancaster. There's a 41-team minor league contraction. And current and future minor leaguers are facing a bit of a new baseball reality. Newman talked to Jordan Foley, who was released by the Rockies back on May 18, Foley said, "It's a tricky time right now where I want to hold on to baseball, but it's a reality that there might not be baseball to hold on to." So Foley said he's getting the ball rolling on the rest of his life and really focusing on that. If baseball happens, great. If not, then he says he has finishing off his degree to focus on, and he'll stay ready in the fall and winter in case a team calls for next season. It's really kind of heartbreaking to hear those kind of stories. Foley was a 5th-round pick out of Central Michigan University by the Yankees in 2014. Pitched 6 seasons in the minors, including last year for Hartford in Double-A. Had a .478 ERA in 42 appearances, 2 starts. He was expected to begin the season in Triple-A. Just a second season in the organization, never got the chance. There's a ground ball hit to first base. 3-6-3 once again. A Rocky grounds into a double play. And Dinger is devastated. We're through 7, 4-1 Diamondbacks.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Rockies, number 54, Carlos Estevez.
Carlos Estevez will pitch the top of the 8th inning and see his ERA at 6.21. He's been struggling as of late. First batter he will face is Eduardo Escobar. He's 0 for 3 on the day. .344 on base percentage this year for Escobar. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Escobar 1 for 7 in his career against Estevez. Swung on and chopped foul quickly, 0-2. That one's low, ball 1. $23,000, a little over that in attendance here at Coors Field on a beautiful evening. It is a bit chilly and a bit windy tonight. 1-2 pitch from Estevez is swung on and fouled back to the screen. Estevez very good strikeout numbers, but he has been struggling with a lot of hard contact lately. Run up a few home runs. 1-2 is inside, and that'll hit the batter.
Now batting, the first baseman, Christian
Escobar will take first base. After the hit batsman, we have Christian Walker coming up as James Pazos and Tim Collins are warming up in the Rockies bullpen. Here's what Walker did back in the 4th inning against German Marquez, a deep drive to deep right center field. And little doubt about that one. Leadoff runner aboard for the Diamondbacks. Estevez's first pitch is inside.
1-0.
More scores around baseball here in the 8th, tied at 1, Pirates and Giants. I believe that was the case back when we mentioned that game on the 5th as well. 1-0 pitch is in there for a called strike. Slugging percentage leaders in the National League involved in this game. Nolan Arenado slugging .632. That's 4th in the NL right now. Twins beat the Orioles 9-0. That is now a final. We're getting a lot of finals. And Jake Odorizzi with the win is now 7-1 on the year. 1-2 is swung on in line foul. Odorizzi went 8 innings, struck out 6. Yankees over the Royals 10-0. That is now a final. Luis Severino gets the win for New York. Jacob Junis is now 1-7 with a loss for the Royals. Severino went 7 1/3 innings, struck out 10 batters. Blue Jays now a final over the Mariners 9-0 as Estevez gets a strikeout. Tanner Roark gets the win, only his 2nd of the year. He's 2-9. Yusei Kikuchi is down to 1-11 with another loss. Really rough start for him and the Mariners. Roark went 8 innings, struck out 9, 6 hits. It's extra innings now. It looks like the Rays have just beat the Red Sox 5-4 in extras. Final now, A's beat the Tigers 7-1. Daniel Mengden with the win number 4 for the A's. Matthew Boyd lost number 7 for the Tigers. Really rough start for him. Eighth inning, Cleveland and White Sox are tied at 2. Yohan Moncada has now hit 2 home runs, so he has been getting the offense going all by himself. 6-3 in the 8th, Astros over the Rangers. Vogt strikes out. The 100-mile-an-hour fastball from Estevez.
The batter number 50, second baseman, Ildemaro.
They'll bring up Ildemaro Vargas. Estevez comes set, looks over towards first. His first pitch is swung on and fouled out of play. Nothing wrong with the velocity at all for Estevez. Quickly, often in the upper 90s to around 100. 17-0. Angels have a lead over the Marlins. Not a good day in Miami for Miami. The pitch low and away, 1-1 strike. Marlins have been holding their own in the wild card race. The Angels certainly having success today. Swinging a line drive towards center field. Coming in on this one is Hampson. He'll get there to make the catch, and that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Rockies have got to get some of their bats going, or at least getting runners to advance from first base. It's 4-1 D-backs, top of the order due up for the Rockies. Double switch time for the D-backs. Torey Lovullo is going to bring in Archie Bradley.
Arizona. Now pitching and batting in the 8th spot, number 25, Archie Bradley. Now playing second and batting 9, number 16, Tim
Lacastro is going to take over in the number 9 spot in the order. He'll play second base. Andrew Chafin, the lefty, and Hector Rondon, the righty, warming up in the D-backs bullpen. 1-0 count on Trevor Story. First pitch is swung on and grounded towards second base. Lacastro right into the ball game, gets his first opportunity. That is out number 1. Chris Owings will be the batter. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, also grounded into a double play. Not his best performance as a Rocky. 247 on the year. Still looking for his first home run on the year is Chris Owings here on June 9th. First pitch high and tight, ball 1. 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Bradley. Low and away, 2-0. That was low. 3 balls, no strikes now. More from around baseball. 2-1. Dodgers beat the Reds 2-. And Walker Buehler gets his 6th win. Trevor Bauer lost number 4. The strike. Buehler went 6 innings, struck out 6, gave up 1 run. 11th inning, extra innings, Nationals and Braves still tied up at 1. Despite a 4-hit day from Adam Eaton so far. There's a strike, so from 3-0, it's now a full count on Owings. 11-4, Padres beat the Brewers. Jose Castillo gets the win. Ray Black the loss for Milwaukee. Tommy Pham hit a home run, and 4 runs batted in for him today. So I'm going to foul out of play. Owings stays alive. That one's high, ball 4. He walked him. 1 out walk for Bradley to Owings.
the right fielder, number 19,
Charlie Blackmon will get an opportunity. 1 for 3 RBI single. Lone run batted in of the day for the Rockies. That brought home Trevor Story. First pitch here is taken outside, ball 1. 5 for 11 with a home run in Blackman's career against Bradley. That's a .455 batting average. Pitch high and away, 2-0. Walk to Owings, and now a 2-0 count on Charlie Blackmon. That one's down and in. 3 balls, no strikes. Nolan Arenado would represent the potential tying run. He's waiting on deck. The 3-0 is in there for a called strike. That's swung on and lined. Foul. Just out of the reach of the first baseman Walker. Now we'll have a payoff pitch. It is high, ball 4. He walked him. Nolan Arenado will come to the plate as the potential tying run here in the bottom of the 8th. 4-1 Diamondbacks. Archie Bradley running into some trouble. 2 for 2 on the day for Arenado. A couple base hits. That's raised his batting average up to .324. Bradley comes set, looks over towards second base, glances. His first pitch to Arenado is high, ball 1. Not particularly close with that 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Arenado, 368 on the year with runners in the scoring position. Can't think of many other Rockies you'd rather have at the plate right now. There's a pitch inside, 2-0. Swing and a miss. Big swing by Arenado, 95-mile-an-hour fastball by him. And swing and a miss. 2 big swings and misses from Arenado. And the count is now even up at 2. Two, outside just a bit, and the count goes full. Ian Desmond waiting on deck. And that one is high and tight, ball 4. He walked him. And the bases are going to be loaded with 1 out now for Ian Desmond. Tying run is on base, and the go-ahead run will step to the plate. We'll have a new pitcher, Hector Rondon. 8 in the 3rd innings, has not pitched a whole lot this year. Lefties have hit .389 against him, righties only .133. 11 strikeouts and 4 walks on the year for Rondon. He is 0-2, has picked up 1 save. Big opportunity for him. Ian Desmond will bat with the bases loaded and 1 out. 0 for 3 on the day is Desmond, slugging .425 on the year. Could really make up for a bit of a cool stretch at the plate right now with 1 big swing of the bat here. Owings on 3rd, Blackman on 2nd, Arenado on 1st. Desmond takes first pitch strike. Desmond only batting .222 on the year with runners in the scoring position. Again, he could make up for all of it with a huge hit here. 0-1 is swung on and pulled foul, quickly 0-2 on Desmond. And that one's going to miss low, ball 1. The 1-2 swung on and chopped foul. Desmond just gets a piece. Rondon comes set, and that one swung on and fouled out of play once more. Rondon, former Astros reliever, former Cubs reliever. One more time, a 1-2 is outside, count evens at 2. So the situation for you, Owings at 3rd, Blackman on 2nd, Arenado on 1st, bases loaded, 1 out, 4-1 Diamondbacks here in the bottom of the 8th. Elias Diaz would be next. He's had a good day today. It's a pitch just a bit high, a little bit too close for comfort. Desmond taking all the way, and it's a full count. Again, Elias Diaz waiting on deck. It'll be a payoff pitch to Ian Desmond. And low, ball 4, he walked him. That will bring a run home. Chris Owings comes across to score, make it a 4-2 ball game. And the bases remain loaded with 1 out now for Elias Diaz. Tying run in scoring position, go-ahead run now on first base, Ian Desmond. Very good plate appearance for him to work that walk. And Sam Hilliard will pinch run.
Second base, number 22, Sam Hilliard.
Diaz 2 for 3, 2 singles today against the lefty Bumgarner. 265, 315, 353 is slash. And Hilliard is running for Nolan Arenado at second base as Diaz swings and fouls and out of place, so we'll have to see someone else come in and play third. Ryan McMahon would be an option for sure. Pitch inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Rondon comes set, his 1-1 is in there for a called strike. One, 2, outside, count evens at 2. Bases loaded, still just 1 out. And that one swung on and lifted in the air towards left and hooking foul and out of play. Rockies have not been giving away any plate appearances here in the bottom of the 8th. 2-2 pitch is swung on and fouled out of play. Reaching for that one was Diaz to make sure he could stay alive. And we'll do it again. Another 2-2 pitch coming to Elias Diaz. Strike 3 called on the inside part of the inside corner. And that is a huge out, number 2 for Rondon. We'll take a look at it one more time. I was not so sure about that one. Diaz maybe not either. And Josh Fuentes will be the batter. 2 outs now, bases still loaded. First pitch is in there for a called strike. 99-mile-an-hour fastball from Rondon. 1 for 3 base hit in the 4th inning today for Fuentes. He's 7 for 27 on the year. Certainly used his 8th hit right about now. 0-1 pitch is in there for a called strike, and it's quickly 0-2 on Fuentes. Only 167 with runners in scoring position this year. That is a very small sample, though, for Fuentes. Just 1 at bat could change that number drastically. And a check swing and a pitch outside, just holding up on that one is Fuentes, ball 1. The 1-2. Strike 3 called. He got him on strikes. Rockies get a run. But a heck of a job by Hector Rondon to get out of trouble here. We go to the 9th. 4-2 Diamondbacks will be trying to extend their lead.
Your attention, please. A defensive change for the Rockies. Now playing third base. Number 22, Sam Hilliard. Now at first base, number 9, Daniel.
So, double switch. You see Sam Hilliard has taken over at third base. All right. A left-handed throwing, no experience third baseman. Sam Hilliard over there at third for Arenado. Daniel Murphy's also in at first base on a double switch. So Josh Fuentes no longer in the ball game. Both of the cousins out of the game now, and Ryan McMahon is on the bench. So Bud Black electing to mix things up a little bit and go with Sam Hilliard at third base. James Pazos, a new pitcher, as a line drive foul and out of play. We'll see if anything gets hit in Hilliard's direction and how he will react to it. 1-1 from James Pazos is on the inside corner for a called strike. It's high and tight, count evens at 2. Two-two pitch is taken down and in. Tim LaCastro is getting his first plate appearance of the ball game in the number 9 spot. He came in a double switch. Starling Marte waiting on deck. He will be hoping to have a base runner on and a very fast one in LaCastro ahead of him. Payoff pitch is swung on and skied towards right field. Blackman's got it. He'll make the catch for out number 1.
The right fielder, number 2,
Starling Marte will be the batter, and now Ryan McMahon will come in to play third base.
A defensive change for the Rockies. Now playing third base.
Not sure if, I guess it's possible Bud Black might have just, forgot that he had Sam Hilliard pinch run for Nolan Arenado. There's a bunt towards third base, and it's going to kick foul. We'll be trying to catch the new third baseman, Ryan McMahon, napping. 0-1 is swung on and missed. Quickly 0-2 on Starling Marte. 0-2. Swinging a chop foul. We'll do it again. Lefty Pazos into his motion. Kicks and deals. Swinging a ground ball foul once more. Rockies will have 9-1-2 hitters. That'll be Daniel Murphy, Trevor Story, and Chris Owings due up in the bottom of the ninth. Story on the backhand makes this play. Nope, it pulls Murphy off the bag. And that is going to be the second error of the ball game for Trevor Story. And Marte will reach. And that'll put a runner on now for Domingo Leyba. 1 for 3 singled and scored earlier in this one. 224 on the year, 1 home run, 4 runs batted in for the D-back shortstop. First pitch from Pazos here is taken down and in from the set position. Bud Black laying down the signs in the Rockies dugout. See, he is watching the bullpen channel on the TV. Pazos throws over to first to drive back Marte. Good speed for Starling Marte, former Pittsburgh Pirate all of his career, till being traded in really a gutting of the team by the Pirates front office. There's a strike in the inside corner, 1-1 the count. Another throw to first. Pazos keeping Marte honest over there. Rockies will see the Pirates, Marte's former team, come to town for a weekend series. First time we've seen the Pirates this year. Pirates are really holding their own. They've had a surprisingly successful season so far. Pitch off the plate. Pirates are leading in the wild card now. They're tied with the Brewers and Reds. Real bunch up in that division. So Pirates and Brewers right now are tied for first place in the NL Central at a 40-25 record. Reds are 35-31. They're essentially the same. They just played an awful less number of games. Rather more games. Cubs and Cardinals are really separating themselves towards the bottom of the division. Pirates, I don't think many were expecting them to have a whole lot of success this year. But they've certainly been doing so in our simulation. Payoff pitch here is inside, ball 4, and a couple base runners on now for the D-backs. Rockies cannot afford to give up any more runs here in the top of the ninth. David Peralta, the batter. Rockies have handled him relatively well for a guy who came in hitting .337. 1 for 4. Single RBI run scored for the D-backs left fielder today. Lefty on lefty matchup. Peralta really struggling against same-handed pitching this year, though. First pitch misses low. Peralta is batting .346 with runners in the scoring position on the year. One of the league's leaders in terms of batting average is Peralta. The 1-0 is outside, 2-0. Pazos looks over towards second base. His pitch is in the dirt. Nice block by Diaz. .30 is in there for a called strike. 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Pazos. And swinging a foul out of play. So from 3-0, the count now goes full. 23 pitches this inning for Pazos, 13 of which have been strikes. Lots of Rockies pitchers have been racking up rather high pitch counts today. Swinging a foul out of play. Peralta stays alive. And the full count pitch is swung on and fouled out of play. Rockies trying to get on a bit of a winning streak. Split the series with the Dodgers. LA winning the first 2 games, Rockies the final 2. There's a swing and a ground ball hit towards second base. Owings goes to second for one, back to first, and that is a double play, and that will retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It'll be Hampson, Murphy, and Story due up. The 8-9-1 hitters for the Rockies, 4-2 Diamondbacks. Andrew Chafin will try to get the save, 18 2/3 innings on the year. He has blown a few, including 2 in his last 10 games. 22 strikeouts, 2 walks for him. That's a pretty good ratio. 8-9-1 hitters due up for the Rockies. Garrett Hampson 1 for 3 in this ball game. And left-handed pitching Chafin will try to get things going against him. First pitch to Hampson is swung on and grounded. Diving stop by LeCastro, throws to first and not in time. Hampson too fast. And that'll be a leadoff base runner for the Rockies here in the bottom of the 9th. The tying run will step to the plate. And that is Daniel Murphy. Lefty-on-lefty matchup might be a little bit rough for him, especially considering how he has been hitting lately. Murphy in a bit of a slump. 243 overall on the year, 3 homers with 17 driven in. A 294 on base percentage for him. As Dinger encourages the crowd. 3rd time, actually 4th time we've seen Dinger today. Once was when he was sad. Other 3 times he's been jovial. And Daniel Murphy, who's really been struggling, came in on that double switch. Will get his first plate appearance of the day. First pitch from Chafin is on the outside corner for a called strike. Murphy 2 for 8 in his career against Chafin. Not a huge sample size. The 0-1 is going to miss low and away, ball 1. Not Stu Cole, but should be Stu Cole laying down the signs. Throw over to first to drive back Hampson. I don't think it's a bunting situation for Murphy, even with how he's been struggling. Maybe if there were a couple runners on base, I would consider bunting with Murphy, but probably let him swing away here. 1-1 pitch is in there for a called strike. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. That's out number 1. Struggles for Murphy continue. That'll bring up Trevor Story. He's had one of the better days for the Rockies. 2 for 4, a couple singles, and a run scored. Look towards first by Chafin. His pitch to Story is in there for a called strike. Throw over to first, check on Hampson. This would be a situation where Hampson might be looking to run. A situation, though, where you need to make sure you're going to be safe, though. Can't take any chances. There's a pitch low. That might have been a good pitch to run on. Hampson looking in. Also the possibility you might just want to let your power-hitting Story swing away. 1-1 is swung on and fouled out of play. Rockies have not had any walk-offs yet this year. They have won 6 extra inning games. They're 6-0 on the road. So pitch inside, count evens at 2. Wins against the White Sox, Diamondbacks, Tigers, Dodgers, Padres. Just swinging a foul out of play. So definitely, when you get those Rockies to extra innings on the road, you know they're going to win. But no walk-offs yet this year at home. There's a pitch inside. Now it's a full count on Trevor Story. Chris Owings is waiting on deck. He's had a bit of a rough day today. Drew Butera still on the bench for the Rockies. I believe that is it. Swinging a ground ball, base hit into left field. Tying run aboard now. And the throw gets away. Hampson's going to try to sneak up to third base, and he will get there. What a play by Hampson. Smart base running there. Chris Owings, the batter. Runners on the corners, 1 out. He did draw a walk in the 8th inning. First pitch to Owings is strike at the knees. Winning run now at the plate for the Rockies. Owings batting .364 with runners in scoring position on the year. He's not hit a home run. If we're thinking one swing of the bat. Not a whole lot of power from Owings, though he has shown it at times in his career. Very good speed on the base paths right now for the Rockies, with Hampson especially at third and Story at first. Chafin's 0-1 pitch to Owings is in there for a called strike, and it's quickly 0-2 now. Chafin has blown 3 saves this year, including 2 in his last 10 tries. Owings swings and fouls and out of play, flailing at that one, just trying to stay alive. And one more time, an 0-2 is swung on and missed. He got him on strikes, and the Rockies are down to their final out. And that will bring up Charlie Blackmon. Lefty and lefty matchup. First pitch is swung on and missed. Blackmon 1 for 3 RBI single in this ballgame. Slash is .280, .344, .541 on the year. The average OBP and the slugging respectively. 0-1 is inside ball 1. And that one swung on and popped up behind the plate. That will be caught, and that will retire the side. And the Rockies lose the first game of this series to the Diamondbacks 4-2. Rockies won the final 2 games of the 4-game set against the Dodgers. Could have been the start of a streak for them, and they need streaks right now if they want to get back into any sort of contention. It's a nail-biting 9th inning, but Diamondbacks came away with the win today. Madison Bumgarner pitching a pretty good ball game for himself. Rockies will try again tomorrow. Diamondbacks 4 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. Rockies 2 runs on 11 hits and 2 errors, both by the shortstop Trevor Story. Madison Bumgarner up to 7-2 with the win. Herman Marquez 4-6 with the loss. Bumgarner is your player of the game. Went 7 innings, 1 run, 9 hits. Rockies were just not able to bring hardly anyone home. 6 strikeouts and a walk for Bumgarner. Marquez in the losing cause, 5 innings, 3 runs on 6 hits, 5 strikeouts and a walk. Not a terrible start for him by any means. Andrew Chafin goes an inning, strikes out 2 and allows 2 hits in the bottom of the 9th to pick up the save. Highlights on offense for the D-backs: Ketel Marte 2 for 4 with a double and 2 runs batted in. Christian Walker goes 1 for 4 with a solo home run to right center. Starling Marte 1 for 5 with a double and a run scored. Ildemaro Vargas 2 for 4 with a double. On offense for the Rockies, Nolan Arenado 2 for 2 with 2 walks. Perfect day at the plate for him. Charlie Blackmon goes 1 for 4 with an RBI. Trevor Story 3 for 5 and scored a run. Garrett Hampson went 2 for 4. 4-2 Diamondbacks is your final. We will see you back here this Friday as the Rockies take on the Pirates. Thank you for tuning in.